press is now mounted on my bench plate system here. I had to cut this bolt here. This was a bit too long. If you look there, that will catch on there. So if you're using a bench plate system, these bolts that it ships with are a bit too long for this side. Other side is fine, clears everything there. So what I've done is I've oiled the lubrication points as per your instructions on the ram and on the links. I've also added a bit of oil at the case slider here, just to, that's from experience with the Loadmaster Pro 1000, it just helps out there. But yes, this is a massive, big, lovely press. I've also added the primer collection tube to the bottom. One note, where you're not going to be able to fit this on a desk that's doesn't have a gap at the bottom. The press does cam over a bit more than normal. Actually pushes the primer catching tube a little bit out. But that's minor things. Now, let's continue with the setup. So the first thing we have to do, follow the instructions. We have to install our primer system. So that's the slide, I think they call it. Let's open it up here. That's the slider, and that's your guide, that little part there. So I'm using the small one. I'm going to load 9mm. So it clicks in place there, like that. Must be like that. Primers will feed in there. That will catch the primer and push it forward. So that basically just slips in there, and then you got the spring. Now look at the instructions. There's a specific way to attach the spring to the top boss here. So now let's see if I can get it back in here. Bit fiddly. It doesn't have a greatest of gaps, but there it's in. So let's just see everything is right, and it looks like the picture says it must look. You see there's a bit of a bend there, so that's normally with these spring systems from the Pro 4000, the APP presses. The spring just needs to align perfectly. So normally just give it a see that. You don't want that. So it's not perfectly aligned there. That's where it's supposed to be. Let's just confirm that again. And now we have the primer slide with the guide, and there's the primer pin protruding there now. So that part is done now. Then we have to open up all our case retainers here, and we have to put the retainer ring in, because we are going to load 9mm, and you need to put this in if you load anything smaller than 40 Smith & Wesson. So goes in like that, that way up. See, they say notch down in the instructions. So that just goes around here. I've also removed the case ejector just to make it easier. And then it just fits in here. I'll just get the case slider out of the way. That fits there. And that fits there. Not 100%. I'm going to get it right just now. There's it. So it just clicked into place. So that's just going to stop too much play on 40 Smith & Wesson and smaller cases. So that's in there now. So next job is going to be to install the shell plate. Okay, time to install the shell plate. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to close all the case retainers and close them too far. So it will keep that retainer ring in place. So we're going to count from here. This is position 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove the breech lock bushing as such. Raise the carrier. Remove the index rod. Now, this index rod might be a bit longer than the Pro 4000, but everything else is the same on the indexing side as the Pro 4000. Same drive bolt here, same clutch type system. It's an excellent system. There is no flippers and screws to adjust or anything like that. On the Pro 4000, that index system works brilliantly. So let's see how this works. So get the press to the bottom, or like that. You take our shell plate and make sure that where it's marked 19S or whatever shell plate you got is to the top. Now we're going to put that in there, and we're going to slightly spin it clockwise to get it on there. Okay, so the case retainers is too far out. Okay. So just spin it till it starts taking. Just hold the drive port and you can hear it clicking into place. And then with the included Allen bolt, go all the way to almost to the top. And just look at this. This is something I want to point out to you. Look at this ramp. There's no play on this ramp. It's standing still. It doesn't drop. Try that with a Loadmaster or any other press. I've only seen one other press that is as tight as this press, and that's the Bullet Core bullet press. I mean, it just stays there. It's brilliant. So, okay. Now, we're going to turn the drive bolt anti-clockwise to tighten it. Okay. Go a little bit higher. And you hear that? The shell plate is installed. So now we go to the bottom. And there's a nice place right here to store the Allen key. So we're going to take the index rod. We're going to drop it in. And you just have to line it up. And then as you get it in the slot here, just make sure it's perfectly in the slot. Otherwise it's going to interfere with the breech lock bushing as you put that back. That breech lock bushing in position 4 keeps the index rod retained there. So let's just see now. Ooh, that is smooth. It's a short movement of the shell plate. And you'll notice this here, this pin here. This first appeared on a Pro 4000 and a Pro 1000. That ensures, if you go to the bottom, that the shell plate is perfectly aligned for your priming system here, that you don't have priming issues. So if your shell plate wasn't aligned, the primer can get seat skew or flip or things like that. But this is just amazing. Now, last thing to do, we need to reinstall the case ejector. It just fits around the drive port there, goes into place there. Just make sure it's all the way flat. And then the shell plate is installed, the priming system is installed, the case feeder is installed. First thing we're going to do with the case feeder is we are going to remove the riser, because we are not going to need that for 9mm. But that's basically the press set up. That was quick. We just got load shedded, so we'll continue with these videos a bit later. Thank you very much.